A big thanks to NordVPN for sponsoring today's video. To get 70% off at $3.49 a month and 1 month free, click the link in my description to learn more.
See, it was nothing.
Chancellor!
Back in the day, I watched a few stray episodes of the 2003 Clone Wars cartoon, made by Samurai Jack visionary Genndy Tartakovsky. I vividly remember enjoying the doses of prequel-inspired action it delivered, but I never returned to it until fairly recently, and oh my god, this show freaking rules! It takes the iconography of the prequels and the gorgeous animation synonymous with Tartakovsky and throws them into a melting pot to give us a deliriously entertaining Star Wars epic. So if, like me, you haven't rinsed the ever-loving out of this show like you should have done a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, here's just a few incredible Jedi action moments that I adore and why I think they'll convince you to give this show a watch, or a rewatch, or just a watch on top of your 100th watch, because god damn it, this show deserves all of the praise and attention in the Star Wars world. Like Palpatine, Mace Windu doesn't get a whole lot of action in the Star Wars prequel trilogy, and it's often been the task of the expanded universe to flesh out his characterization as one of the Jedi Order's most powerful masters, something often implied rather than shown in live action. In Tartakovsky's Clone Wars, we not only get to see Mace Windu enter aggressive negotiations with his signature purple lightsaber, we get to see what happens when he's forced to stare down the cold veneer of several hundred armoured battle droids without it.
Y'all ready for this?
Oh no! They were ready for that!
The speed of Windu here, the ferocity, as he systematically dismantles each and every battle droid with the precision of an expert martial artist is nothing short of incredible. Taking away a Jedi signature weapon and then placing him in front of an army of battle droids is such a great setup. It feels like Windu is taking on impossible odds before blindsiding us as he unfurls a flurry of force attacks. And it gets super inventive too, like when Windu breaks pieces of one droid off and then uses them as projectiles to tear holes in another group of droids. Fantastic. What I love about this as well, and it's something that exemplifies the show as a whole, is the tone of it. I love Star Wars for the dark moments.
The dead, in a pauper's grave in the Jakku Desert.
Just as much as I do for its quipping antics.
Not to worry, we are still flying half a ship.
I mean, who doesn't? But Tartakovsky's Clone Wars feels decidedly unique to other Star Wars offerings. There's a distinct moodiness to it, a grittiness complemented by animation that is deliciously over the top and frenetic. There's also very little dialogue. It's really resting on the strength of the franchise's visual iconography and running with it. Take the end of this epic sequence for example. After watching Windu obliterate an army of battle droids, we get a small, intimate moment between the Jedi Master and a young boy who kindly offers him some water. It says, should have been some milk really, it says more than any other references to trade disputes ever could. Also, just like, I know Sam Jackson is getting on a bit now, but I could sit through an entire movie of this sort of thing in live action. Bring on some Irishman-esque de-aging Disney, we know you got the funds for it. Do it! We'll get back to Star Warsing in just a moment, but first I want to tell you a little more about our awesome sponsor NordVPN. NordVPN secures your internet traffic, encrypts it and routes it through a remote server to protect your data from anyone trying to view it. Without NordVPN, a hacker can track what you're doing and view your personal information such as credit card details. With NordVPN, this information is encrypted and makes your data anonymous to protect you. This is why I always use NordVPN. I want my private information to remain private, especially my credit card details. And right now, NordVPN has a 70% off sale when you use the code FullFatVideos, plus you'll receive 1 month for free. On top of that, NordVPN allows you to watch and view content not available in your country on streaming platforms and websites such as Netflix. And best of all, it's backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. To save money and protect your information today, click the link in the description to visit NordVPN and see for yourself why they were voted the best VPN of 2019. If you've watched any of our Star Wars videos, I'm sure it's no secret that I'm lukewarm at best on General Grievous.
You want to talk about a character? You want to talk about a character that was made to make a fucking Kenner toy? Then we'll talk about Grievous. It's like, oh, how many lightsabers can we give this fucking jackass?
But having said that, I love the Clone Wars Grievous. He actually made his debut on the show, and I think it's a crying shame the way he was portrayed here didn't get carried over into live action. Everything about him to me feels night and day different, and nowhere is this more encapsulated than in this sequence. The droid commander has several Jedi, including Ki-Adi-Mundi, Shaak-Ti, and literally Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, pinned down in a crashed ship, surrounded by his droid army. The Jedi Master attempts to keep things under control, but a clanking metal sound over and over again is enough to strike fear in the hearts of even the bravest Jedi.
I can't see anything.
That noise.
He is coming.
The tension here is just fantastic. All we can make out of Grievous are those footsteps. We don't know where he is, how near he is, or how many seconds the Jedi have left before they meet their certain doom.
We can't face him! We must try, Padawan.
With no non-diegetic music to speak of, it's eerie and incredibly unsettling. No! Grievous is so powerful that he just annihilates this guy by stepping on him like a freaking bug, and it's all downhill for the Jedi from there. Seeing him hanging on the ceiling like Batman, patiently waiting for his prey to drift into his kill box, paints Grievous in a far more interesting light. Here we see why he's the master tactician and head of the droid army, able to tear through Jedi in spite of being unable to channel the Force. I much prefer seeing him fight with two lightsabers while simultaneously using his feet to wield them. He just freaking grabs this guy's head and books him an appointment with the ground. The Clone Wars team really knew what to do with him visually to make him stand out from the pantheon of iconic Star Wars characters. Like here, where Grievous is in this tense pose, balancing on one foot with a lightsaber on the end of every other limb. It's fantastic and full of imagination. He moves with such a robotic precision that makes him stand out even against the inhuman godlike movements of the Jedi in the show. He feels like a cross between a hideous insect and a Terminator, with the agility of Darth Maul and the presence of, well... Grievous here has the presence of Vader, while still feeling like his own entity. He's like the droid equivalent to what Vader was for the Stormtroopers in the original trilogy. Without Vader, they're not very intimidating, but when that single commander is there to galvanise the army, suddenly they become this incredible threat. The droids in the prequel movies never really got to stand by a Vader-like figure, and seeing them here stood behind Grievous just makes me wish that we had seen that, because they are a million times more imposing. In episode 3, Grievous is a cowardly figure. We see his impressive lightsaber collection, but we never see him take any Jedi on. The only time we do, he gets his ass handed to him within seconds. And look, I know Obi-Wan Kenobi is a bit of a daddy, but still, without material like this, I just don't get the hype for Grievous. Also, his voice is way cooler.
You have only prolonged the inevitable.
Last, but certainly not least, I want to talk about the Anakin Skywalker Asajj Ventress fight, because, I mean, holy shit, are you seeing this?
Obi-Wan,
Yes, sir.
gave you orders to follow me.
Yes, sir.
Fine.
This gets Anakin right off the bat. He wants to do it all by himself, and he lets everyone in the room know that like a petulant child. Fortunately for his ego, he gets what he wants, as we see the clone troopers get absolutely messed up. As with Mace Windu's spectacular Force Kung Fu, we get to see these fantastical abilities like never before as the troopers zip and fall into the trees like ragdolls. And we see firsthand that Anakin's opponent has little regard for life.
Come, Padawan. Your fall will be my ascension to the Sith.
After a stunning ballet of lightsaber moves showcased in some epic wide shots that capture the speed and precision of both duelists, the fight mixes it up as Anakin follows Asajj into the trees for some Predator-style hide-and-seek. When they come to blows again, we are treated to perhaps the greatest showcase of Jedi agility ever, as they leap from trees, swing on vines, and strike each other's blades as they speed through the forest like fighter jets. In a cartoon like this, it makes perfect sense to amp up the Force and their abilities in ways that might not necessarily translate well to live action. Every character from Windu to Skywalker gets to show off the Force with stunningly superhuman feats of speed and strength, and it's wonderful. If you're a fan of the kind of over-the-top Jedi action in something like Star Wars The Force Unleashed, then this show delivers it in spades. Raindrops fizzing off the sabers as both opponents stand before each other, psyching each other out for another bout. Are you kidding me? And this duel just goes on and on in the best possible way, giving us loud, bombastic fighting, as well as quieter, tense moments. And every time in a new location with a completely fresh palette. Also, it makes the Episode 2 Anakin look an incredible one. I was never a fan of his Padawan braids and light brown tunic over what we got in Episode 3, but the show makes it work, and seeing his outfit cut down to show off his golden metal arm looks fucking awesome. But that's all nothing compared to the stunning finale to this duel. Asajj manages to gain the upper hand on Skywalker, sending his saber into the dirt. Without his weapon, it seems like the evil warrior is about to destroy the Chosen One, but he taps into his dark destiny. The visuals here are utterly breathtaking, bathing Anakin in red and orange hues that enrapture him in his dark side rage as he finishes the fight. That laboured scream is just scratching the surface of the Padawan Sith journey. There's more of Clone Wars 2003 that I could gush about, so if you want me to do that, I totally could, because I could do this all day. Seriously, I love this show. It makes me feel like I'm on a sugar rush, and it's just reinvigorated my joy for Star Wars. So yeah, go check out Star Wars Clone Wars if you haven't already, and if you already have, as I said, go and watch that again. Thanks again to NordVPN for sponsoring today's video. To learn more, click the top link in this video's description to save money and protect your privacy today. The Star Wars tracks in this video were very kindly provided by Samuel Kim Music. You can check out some of his awesome tracks over at his channel, the details of which are in the description below. Thank you for watching another Full Fat video. If you'd like to see more from Full Fat videos, why not follow us on Instagram and Twitter? Please consider becoming a patron on Patreon. We've got some cool exclusive content on there. Thank you to our $100 patrons, Dr. Chike and Jax Merrick. Chris and I really appreciate it. Until next time, stay milky.